The Sports Source is brought to you by Fast Frame. Turn your memorabilia into a work of art.
You are watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television. This is The Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into the Sports Source. We're happy to have you with us. I'm happy to have the panel here with us. It's Knoxville Marathon Day, and I got a call before the show saying, I don't know that we can make it. There's too many detours. So we do have a full show, and it won't just be me tap dancing for the next hour. We're talking, well, I'm not even going to start the list yet because it's so long. Sports Source brought to you by Bill Hotz and Associates. Let me tell you about them to start off with. You know, I love these guys because they understand the reality of it. And one thing they point out is, look, there are attorney jokes in this world. The reason is most folks don't like attorneys unless they need a good one. Then it's not a joking matter. Just like it's no joke if you are the one injured in a car wreck through someone else's negligence. If that's the case, turn to the guys who've been doing this for 30 years. Bill Hotz and Associates. You see their website right there. We appreciate them for bringing you the Sports Source this week. Please give them a call if you are in need of attorneys. All right, I want to welcome in the panelists for the day. We have Josh Ward, Mike Griffith, Chuck Cavaleris, and Mike Strange. Glad to have all of you here. As I was saying earlier, let me tell you what we got coming up. Just some of the names that will be discussed today. In addition to Vol football, Rick Barnes, Dave Hart, John Curry, Ken Sparks, Lane Kiffin, Clint Sterner, Diamond DeShields. We got a lot to talk about. So let's start with Tennessee football, though. Spring practice is going on. So I want to start with a big picture question. You're about 2 weeks in on the spring thing. So, and the practices, they're not wide open for everybody. So we're not going on just what people are saying at practice and what we're hearing about practice. But knowing what you know from last year, what should this team be able to do well in 2017? It can be an area, that can be a person. What do you have confidence in? And I don't mean, well, I think they'll be able. What do we know? What are we willing to put our name to that this team will be able to X? Mike, you're smiling.
Trevor Daniel. And I'm not joking. Yeah. I'm not joking. Here's a guy that's been a great punter for 2 years, and there's no reason to believe he won't be again. So anything else is proven out there as Trevor Daniel? I don't think so.
I'm going to say run block. You know, and I think there's a direct correlation between Rock Gullickson and these offensive linemen. Just from seeing these big uglies, I mean, they look different. I mean, you're not seeing the guts hanging over the belts like you were last fall. I mean, these guys looked out of shape going into camp last fall. Right now, they look great. They're deep. And this incoming freshman, Trey Smith, they say he's nasty. When Derek Barnett calls you nasty, you're nasty.
Which is something, and no knock on Drew Richmond. Again, he's got years to develop into a top-flight player. But when he came in, that was not what people said about Drew Richmond.
Right.
So that may be a little change from one five-star guy to the next in terms of how quickly they can add to the team. I think that I'll go a step further than just run blocking. I think this team, if I had to pick one thing that I think they'll be able to do, I think they'll be able to run the football. I think John Kelly showed he's a talent. Tyson Chandler, it's an adjustment to go from high school to college, but anyone who's looked at the tape of the kid, it looks like he would be as good as a John Kelly in terms of talent-wise. So to me, I think the bread and butter for this team, and also based on the fact that I think they're going to do a heck of a lot of it, I think they should be able to run the football.
Yeah, running the ball would actually be mine, and could be proven wrong, but I look at John Kelly last year, and some of the numbers show he was actually the most productive running back in a group that for part of the year included Jalen Hurd and included Alvin Kamara, who's a potential first-round pick. And I think Chandler's going to be able to come in and play. So could be wrong, but I'm confident that Chandler's ready to play in the SEC in a number 2 role, and that John Kelly, who I think is also showing the leadership roles that people have demanded of players rising in this program, I think that's a good sign for the backfield overall.
Which was something that people were talking about last year, even before he kind of took the step forward. There was talk behind the scenes of don't sleep on this guy. And when he finally got in there in place of Jalen Hurd,
You know what you like about him, John? When he shows up, his uniform is tattered and ripped, and he's got every potential sticker that a guy can have for effort. I mean, he's that guy. He's that gym rat on your football team.
He's not in a green jersey.
That's for sure.
Chuck, you got anything other than those?
One of the things I would say, I'm looking for this to be able to get off the field better on third down. And I think part of that is you're going to be stronger. You're going to be a faster football team. And I also think you're going to be more on the same page. I mean, this defense gave up an average of 5 yards per play last year. Or a little bit more. You talk about how good the Tennessee offense was, the numbers. The defense was just as bad. So I think you're going to see an improvement, and I've got confidence that they'll be able to do that better.
Okay, I'm going to put that one up for debate then. But I was only going to go with 2. Punting and the run game. That's all I saw. I think it may be a little wishful thinking on the third downs. Are they bringing third down for what back? That's the key. I understand what you're saying. I think on paper that sounds right. I think everything you said makes sense. I don't know that I trust it though yet.
Well, the players are saying it, and the coaches are saying it, and I know that's what they're supposed to say.
I don't trust them either.
Right? I know that's what they're supposed to say.
I trust Chuck more than I trust them.
But any coordinator in his second year is going to do better once the players have had that second year. And I also think Brady Hoke brings a great level of experience to that defensive line. I think he's made a difference. And again, Rock Gullickson. I just think the Rock Gullickson factor goes across the board.
All right. Let's say you can get off the field on third down better. I don't know that will. Well, let's put it this way. In terms of game planning, all right, you can punt. You can run the ball. You've got 2 young quarterbacks, unproven quarterbacks. If I'm looking at that from afar, I'm saying this is going to be a very conservative offense. If we can run the ball, that's our sure thing. Play special teams, punt the ball, hopefully get off the field on third down. Do you think this is going to be a more conservative season than what you had last year and the year before?
I don't think so.
Which I think fans would scream because they think it's already too conservative.
I think a lot of this offense is read and react and react to what the defense is giving you. And if you are, I don't think you may be conservative in some of the calls, but eventually you're going to have to take what the defense is giving you. If they're really stacking up to stop the run, and they can do that in the SEC, you can't stay ultra conservative. And I'm not sold 100% they're going to be able to run the ball that much better. I don't see the power back between the tackles.
Well, they ran it pretty well last year.
Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
But a lot of that was Josh Dobbs.
Yes.
Great
exactly. Point, Chuck.
I agree.
That wasn't play calls. That's a player and playmaker. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, if I'm wrong on the running game.
So we're down to punter.
Trevor Daniel.
Well, if we're wrong on the running game, we'll see more of Trevor Daniel, which which doesn't necessarily turn out to be a good thing. But Josh Dobbs would be the one thing that would hold me back if you were to say, okay, I don't know about the running game. The fact that Josh Dobbs is not there to help. Now, maybe it's Garantano, maybe he helps, but that is a question. Josh Dobbs, he saved them, bailed them out of a lot of difficult situations.
Yeah.
Well, and this isn't to say, I know there are people thinking, well, Quentin Dormany's got the arm of a NFL vet out there. The love for Quentin Dormany in his arm. Hope the kid's got it. I think I think people have gone a little far so far, and no one's seen Jarrett Garantano play a down. Those guys may turn out to be All-American QBs, but I'm guessing for the first quarter of the season at least, you're going to have to rely on that run game more than you are their arms, regardless of what the defense is giving you. We'll see. We'll see. And just when you look at it, I have a feeling it may be more running and more conservative than it was a year ago. So we'll get into that the further we get into summer, and certainly in the fall, people can come back and say, see, they're throwing it all over the yard. When we come back, 5 hot read questions on spring practice. Wolf, Warrior, Robertson, the quarterbacks, and another playmaker. Come on back on the Sports Source.